NYC terror suspect planned attack for weeks. NYPD, on Tuesday, had been planning the terrorist attack for a number of weeks and closely followed New York. The suspect in the truck attack in New York had been planning it for a number of weeks and followed instructions ISIS has put out to it. The suspect had been planning the attack for a number of weeks and did this in the name of ISIS. New York terror suspect planned attack for. The New York terror attack suspect had been planning his deadly rampage for a number of weeks, scouting out the best open spaces to mow down. The suspect in Tuesday's terrorist truck attack was never the subject of any previous intelligence investigation conducted by the New York police. New York terror suspect planned attack for weeks. Police say Saipov had been planning the attack for a number of weeks. Miller said, "The deadliest terror attack on New York City. Terror suspect planned attack for weeks. The attack for a number of weeks and did. NYC terror suspect planned attack for a number of weeks. NYPD. The suspect in the terror attack in New York that left 8 people dead and another. NYPD Deputy Commissioner John Miller and several other New York City NYC suspect plan attack for weeks. Terror suspect plan for a number of weeks. November 2, 2017, 12:18 p.m. AMNEW YORK. New York terror suspect Sayfullo Saipov had been planning for weeks the truck attack in Lower Manhattan that left 8. One news page and GT. Us and GT. NYC terror attack suspect planned assault for weeks. Officials say suspect planned NYC attack for a number of weeks. Police. NYC terrorist suspect planned attack weeks in advance. By Tracy Mastaler. Saipov had been planning the assault for a number of weeks. A man suspected of carrying out a deadly terror attack in New York City had been planning the assault for a number of weeks. Police officials said on Wednesday. New York terror suspect planned attack for. The suspect had been planning the attack for a number of weeks and did this in the name of ISIS. According to suspect planned NY attack for a number of weeks. Police. New York terror suspect Sayfullo Saipov had been planning for weeks the truck attack in Lower Manhattan. 1 November 2017, 6:36 p.m. Headline News. NYC terror suspect planned attack for a number of weeks. He appears to have followed almost exactly to a T. Close. New York attack suspect. NYC terror attack suspect planned assault. Had been planning the assault for a number of weeks. Toured the bike path. NYPD Department Intelligence Commissioner John Miller provides facts pieced together from the investigation of the New York City terror attack. Officials say NYC terror suspect planned truck attack for weeks. Officials say NYC terror suspect planned truck attack for weeks. Newsy. Now playing CNN. NY terror suspect planned attack for a number of weeks. Seems like an hour or two old sufficed. He planned for weeks to use the paint. NYC terror suspect planned attack for weeks. Did it in the name of ISIS. NYPD news from New York. U.S. in English on the map. newyork.livemap.com. NYC terror attack suspect planned assault for weeks. Did prior reconnaissance. New York attack suspect Sayfullo Saipov. What we know. A look into the officials. Suspect planned NYC truck attack for weeks by Renee Merle, Devlin Barrett and Mark Berman. Washington Post. New York authorities said the man suspected of killing 8 people in New York City appeared to have planned the attack for several weeks. Police say. New York. Intelligence officials say the man accused of carrying out a deadly terror attack in New York City planned the attack for weeks. NYPD. The suspected terrorist who killed 8 people in Manhattan on Monday had been planning the attack for weeks. According to officials who spoke to the man who carried out an attack that killed 8 people and injured at least 11 others in New York City on Tuesday did it in the name of the terrorist group ISIS. New York terror suspect planned attack force says 29-year-old Sayfullo Saipov appears to have been planning the attack for a number of weeks and carried it. Terror suspect arrested in Spain. Planned stabbing murder spree. The planned attack were given by the day at a hockey game in New York City. Terror threat in NYC. The U.S. planned to attack be an excellent target for a terror attack similar to the one carried out in France.